All right, here's my simple firewood jig here. So I've got this one little piece. I actually rived this piece of wood. See how crooked this is? I rived it. I have a piece of red oak. I've had it for over a year now, but anyway, sometimes I find some uses for it. So I put these nails in this pallet to have this as a stop, to make this as a stop right here. This little 3/4 inch or 1 inch piece of wood here. So what I'll do is I'll put my 16-inch pieces right here. 16-inch pieces against this stop. See if y'all can see this. That's kind of what it is. That's what I'm doing. So basically what that creates is it's an overhang of, let's see how much the overhang is. About 7 inches of overhang. And from here to here, you can see that it's about 10 3/4 about, and I want it to be about 12 inches. So that gives me enough space so that where I'm not going to cut the edge of the pallet here when I get my 12-inch pieces. I'm going to put another pallet on top of this to kind of sandwich these small sticks of firewood here, my 16-inch pieces, so it holds it sort of kind of tight in there, and that's what I want, to hold it kind of tight. See if I can set you down now. A little different angle here. We'll keep adding this, put some of these bigger pieces at the bottom. A little chilly this morning. Probably about 35, 40 degrees right now, somewhere around there. Just to give you an idea of what I'm doing. I'm gonna go ahead and put the other pallet on top here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can probably split that into 2 pieces, that into 2 pieces. Possibly that, maybe not. What that's doing there. So it gives me space when I cut it off my chainsaw. I'm not digging, obviously, my bar into the ground. And also when these start falling off, these little 4-inch pieces will start to fall off. The saw bar is not hitting the edges or the 4-inch pieces. Again. Okay, I'm gonna try to sliding some more in here. Slide some more if I can. Make it a little tighter. Simple enough. here we go, 16-inch piece. Put it in my little chainsaw jig here, and we'll see what size we have now. "12 inches. I can see that. See that? 12 inches. So worked out pretty good. Pretty good. Inches. Get on there. Anyway, good stuff. From 16-inch piece to 12-inch piece for the solo stove bonfire. 12-inch pieces are great. Anything between, really anything under 13 inches is great. That way you don't have any firewood sticking out of the fire pit. Anyway, that's that. Making some bundles. So going from the 16-inch pieces to the 10 to 12-inch pieces of bundle firewood for the solo stove bonfire. So I put together this small chainsaw jig to help me go from 16 inches to around 10 to 12 inches or so I can fit the solo stove bonfire much better. You don't want your wood sticking out of the fire pit, guys. You want it to be just the right size. We got it. We got it for you. So I'll put between 10 and 12 pieces of some tiny piece like this. I'm obviously not going to count this as one piece. I probably won't even count that as one piece, either one of these. Okay. So 10 to 12 pieces total of decent size pieces of wood. Process just to make sure all this sawdust is off of it. If I can get the bark off of it, I will. It doesn't take me much time. But if it's hard to get off, sometimes with this maple, it's hard to get off. This is red maple. It's actually all red maple that I'm putting in this bundle. A lot of red maple around here, y'all. Let's see how much we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sometimes they just fall right off. Sometimes they don't. Just usually the bark that I have found out causes quite a bit of smoke. Even if it's dried, seasoned wood, it still causes smoke. Some people say it helps get the fire started, and yeah, I definitely think it can. But in my case, I feel like it just causes a lot of smoke. So try and get the bark off if I can. This has all been stored inside my lean-to for a year. Red maple. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, that little feller right there. That little feller. That'll be 12. About 12 pieces total. So I got this burlap from the thrift store. Big old roll of burlap. It was around, I don't have a whole lot left, but you can see what I'm talking about. I think it's $4 per roll or burlap, and I feel like it's a 100-foot roll at least. Probably more than that. It's probably more like a 200 or 300-foot roll. It's huge. So this is how I make my bundle. A little granny knot first. And I learned this from watching another guy on YouTube. He's just like a tourniquet knot. This is how he gets his bundles nice and tight. Yeah, I could use a bag and I'm sure a lot of other things, but this is what I have. And then in this case, I'm going to put this thing here. I'm going to get a little piece of firewood. That's the tourniquet knot to hold it in place. It's kind of a big piece of firewood. But I'm going to put this in there. Before I do that, get a little piece of twine over here. Piece of twine. Firewood piece. And put the twine underneath one of the pieces of firewood. Alright. And then just want to make sure everything is nice and straight as possible here. Bundle as tight as possible. Keep turning this piece of firewood. It's tight. Alright. Then I make another little granny knot with my twine and firewood to keep it all together, so that firewood doesn't come undone. And granny knot here. The firewood. The bundle, you see that. So these are between 10 to 12 inch pieces for the solo stove bonfire. So it's just the right size for the bonfire, solo stove bonfire.